The company we are evaluating as a team is the company Mobley. Mobley was established in 2003 and it's based out of Lehi, Utah. And it's also called Mobley Inc. is the correct name. It's a mobile first software platform designed to streamline lead capture at in person events. The founders are starting with Zach Barney as the CEO. Some of Zach Barney's strengths are that he has closed over $4 million in annual revenue, and then his team has totaled over $40 million during his career. One of his other strengths is that his employees um, applaud him in recognizing their strength and the employee strengths and weaknesses, and this helps him be able to put people in the positions they need to be, and effectively bettering the company and making it run better. He has really good networking, and all of his roles have came through networking. Some of his weaknesses include scaling issues in the product development and customer success, and this might need further planning. Uh, Another weakness is that he could use some help on the management side of the company. The second founder is Chris Jenkins. He is currently the COO of Mobley. Some of his strengths are he has experience in sales, and he is one of the head of sales. He makes sure the products meet the markets they need to be. Another strength is he tries dividing responsibilities based off individual strength, and this in turn creates a more productive workspace for the employees. And just this year, he secured $4.3 million in seed funding, which is massive. Weaknesses: he does not have much experience with larger scale tech companies. He could use some help on the marketing side with a bigger team, maybe reaching out to more people and places. Um, yeah. One of the next founders is Joe Turner, the CTO. Um, he has served as CTO for a lot of companies: TaskEasy, Market Dial, and Local Fluence. Um, Over his 23-year career working for all these companies, he has created over $1 billion worth of enterprise value, which is a lot of money. He describes himself as a creative problem solver, and he has tackled a lot of challenges through his career, especially in the technical field. Weaknesses: once again, not much experience in a massive tech setting. Um, as this company continues to scale, he's going to need help on the tech side. The last founder of Mobley is Carrie Peterson, who is the director of engineering. Um, Employees describe him as a developer who has not worked hard but also acts as a creative partner in projects, which helps the employees feel obviously a lot better when they're working with him. He leads the engineering team, and he is overseeing their first mobile app, the SaaS platform. Some of his weaknesses is eventually he'll need a bigger team when the scaling starts happening and the company starts getting a lot bigger on the engineering side. He doesn't really have much experience with large tech, just a bunch of small tech, and he needs more visibility, more connections.
Hello, my name is Hideman. I'm gonna be talking about a little quick overview for the Mobily, the software management for workforce management for mobile. Mobily is a software company based in Utah that provides mobile workforce management solutions. Their main product is a platform that helps businesses manage and optimize their field operations, including dispatching, tracking, and communication with mobile employees. Okay, some of the pain point addresses that this tool has given to the customers is that the pain point is on inefficient mobile workforce management. Many companies struggle with coordinating field employees, tracking job progress, and ensuring effective communication. Mobile's platform solves these problems by giving real-time visibility into field operations, improving scheduling and dispatch efficiency, enhancing communication between office and field teams, and helping businesses reduce operations. The technology that it uses is basically a mobile app, cloud-based platform mobile applications that use technology like GPS tracking, real time communication, scheduling algorithms, and data analytics. Their system integrates mobile workforce management with features such as live location tracking, job status updates, and automated dispatching. Mobility relies heavily on cloud computing, mobile app development, real time databases, and geolocation services to deliver seamless coordination between field employees and office management.
Hey, how's it going? My name is Daniel. I'm going to be doing the financials for Mobley. First things first, we're talking about the business model. Why this is important and why it matters is understanding the business model shows us exactly how Mobley makes its money and whether their approach is sustainable and scalable. A strong model will create reliable revenue streams and have overall long-term growth. Now, as far as Mobley's model, they work as a software as a service, which is like a subscription model where people pretty much pay to use their platform. Their primary focus is mainly like mid-sized companies with like 50 to 999 employees that are already using multiple sales tools. And then Mobley generates revenue by offering several solutions, including fast lead capture from in-person events, automated CRM integrations, enriched contact databases, and engagement tracking tools, which work on cell phones apparently. And then their average annual recurring revenue per customer is estimated at $35,000, which places them in a high value segment of like this type of market. And then having a strong software as a service model is important because it offers predictable recurring cash flow, which makes the business more stable and easier to grow over time. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on. All right, next up, we're going to be talking about if the economics make sense. Why this matters is evaluating the economics helps investors decide if the company can efficiently grow and become profitable. We typically like to check the burn rate, revenue goals, and how realistic their plans are. And then, as far as Mobley's economic overview, their initial goal is to onboard 35 new accounts, which could generate about 1.2 million in potential ARR, which is a really good starting goal. And then their initial target is kind of like a fundraising round. They have a more realistic milestone, which is about 500,000. To achieve this, they are raising $850,000 through a safe note. With this funding, Mobley expects to secure 24 months of operating runway, which breaks down to a monthly burn rate of approximately like 35K a month, 35,000. This is important because it suggests that their use of funds is aligned with their growth objectives. So, in addition, their early traction, including signed letters of intent and a wait list of over 100 companies, indicates there's a real market demand and reduces some of the financial risk moving forward. All right. Last but not least, we're going to do the LTV and the CAC. Why this matters is the LTV, which stands for lifetime value, and the CAC, the customer acquisition costs, are crucial for knowing if Mobley will make more from a customer than it costs to acquire them. And a strong LTV and CAC ratio signals a profitable and a scalable company. So right down here below, I put a little table for you guys with the metric and the estimate, so that we can kind of have a little visual for it. Now, the average customer is expected to stay with Mobley for anywhere between 3 to 5 years. They have a gross margin of about 80%, and then the cost to actually get that customer is anywhere between 8 to 10,000. And then the annual recurring revenue per customer is estimated at 84,000, which is really good. And then if we divide that out by like the CAC, we get 9.3, which is really good for a SaaS company, pretty much. And then a high LTV to CAC ratio means Mobley is well positioned to reinvest profits into future growth, making their financial model very attractive for investors. So, yeah, that's all I got for you guys.
Hello, my name is Alexis Westergaard, and today we are going to be taking a look at Mobley's market opportunity, market position, and competitors to get an overall evaluation of Mobley from the market perspective. Starting with the total addressable market, Mobley is targeting about $4 billion worth of a total addressable market. This is based on about 112,500 mid-sized companies in the US. These are companies that have about 50 to 1,000 employees and are already heavily investing in sales acceleration tools and prioritize event marketing. Each of these companies is estimated to have an annual recurring revenue of $35,000 per company, like I said, which creates a large, attractive market. However, realistically, not all of these companies are reachable today. After considering technology compatibility, mobile sales fields needs, and event-driven data strategies, we estimate about 30% of the TAM is truly serviceable. This brings us to a serviceable available market, or SAM, of about $1.2 billion. In the early stages, Mobley will aim to capture just about 0.6 to 1% of the annual recurring revenue, which adds up to about $6 to $12 million. That is roughly 180 companies to 345 companies over the next few years. Now looking at the competitive landscape, while major players like Salesforce, HubSpot, and Outreach dominate CRM and sales engagement, none of them fully optimize for what Mobley is doing, capturing in-person leads, enriching them instantly, and logging them directly into the CRM, all from a mobile device. Competitors typically focus on remote workflows where reps are using a desktop and sitting at a desk most of their day. Mobley, however, is designed for field reps who are mobile first and who often lose valuable sales data after in-person events because they are not able to input it into the CRM directly. This gives Mobley a strong differentiator, which is real-time lead capture at the point of engagement without the need for a laptop or a manual CRM entry later. Mobley's advantages go beyond the product features. We are offering a tool that makes the consumer, which in this case is the sales rep, job go much smoother and easier. There are currently no direct competitors offering the same blend of instant enrichment, mobile CRM syncing, and a crowdsourced database anchored on face-to-face interactions. The market is also changing. The primary users, specifically Gen Z, ages 18 to 25, are looking for solutions that are simple, cost-effective, and designed for mobile use, not focused on desktop use within an office. This product design also reduces costs associated with lead loss and missed follow-ups, meaning companies save on replacing lost opportunities. Plus, the clean and intuitive interface gives salespeople exactly what they need when they need it. Looking at all of these pieces put together, the future is very bright for Mobley. In-person events are becoming increasingly popular within marketing and outreach areas after the pandemic, with event budgets increasing significantly and focusing on moving from entirely online audiences. CRM solutions are now considered essential by business owners who need to track interactions across multiple channels, including in person. And finally, the sales engagement and acceleration markets have hit a new high value of $124 billion globally in 2024, which shows that there's more than enough budget and appetite for the kind of solution that Mobley is delivering. In the end, the market is big, the timing is right, and the competition leaves a gap. And Mobley is in a unique position to overtake that gap.
Okay, here's our exit analysis for Mobley. So first off, our evaluation. Mobley has gone through a few rounds of funding. In that time, they've secured just a little under $7 million. So for us, we're hoping for a 15% after cash share in the company. What that means is that we're going to put in $1.2 million for that 15% after cash. Now, Mobley is still in the pretty early stages, so their revenue is going to take a while to really take off, but their serviceable market is pretty sizable. We discussed earlier the initial recurring revenue that we expect is around $500 million, and over a few years we expect that to grow to be a bigger portion of their serviceable market. So looking at our exit analysis here, our base case, we're looking at a 38% return, poor case 21%, exceed case 45%. Now, none of those are too bad. Our poor case, of course, is the lowest, but even that is a fairly reasonable return. Now, our exceed case, the biggest, we are looking at a $8 million return on that $1.2 million we put in. So that is a pretty good return on investment, but we do have to remember that the amount we're putting in is not exceedingly high. So the amount we're going to get out is not going to be insanely high. But at this pretty solid likelihood of return and the good likelihood that we'll get a fairly solid return, it does seem like a pretty good investment. Compared to our comps, it is around the same level of return on investment. It is hard to find comparable companies of similar size, but when we look into them, it is going to get us a fairly similar return on investment. So this is looking like it's pretty solid for us.
And now our final decision. First off, the pros and cons that we found to investing in Mobley. First, there's a high likelihood of positive return, with our lowest case still giving a 21% return, and the other cases giving higher than that. Second, our buy-in is relatively low, with 1.2 million for 15% of the company. And they have good potential earnings, as we discussed earlier, with their serviceable market. If they can grow fast, they can get some pretty solid recurring revenue. And that means that we can make some pretty good earnings on our investment. The cons: the company's really new, so they're not proven yet in the market. It's not certain that they'll make as much money as we predict that they will. Second, ties into the first. The revenue forecasting can be really uncertain since they're such an early stage. And then finally, since they're in such an early stage, there's a high potential for our ownership of the company to be diluted more than we may expect before our exit. Despite all these, we feel that the pros outweigh the cons, and we've decided that we will invest.